The Building Brands podcast is dedicated to exploring the journeys of industry leaders who have successfully built a brand. Join me, Robert Royer, president of Building Brands Marketing, and an entrepreneur who has successfully scaled multiple brands as we dive deep into the strategies, challenges, and insights that have shaped the success of industry leaders and provide you with the resources you need to do the same. Building Brands Marketing is a full-service marketing agency specializing in crafting customized marketing strategies for service-based businesses with a creative powerhouse to drive real results. Welcome to the Building Brands Podcast. Welcome to the Legal Leaders series of the Building Brands Podcast. I'm excited to welcome Kamilah Jolly with Jolly Esquire PLLC today. Welcome, Kamilah.
I'm so happy to be here today.
Yeah, absolutely. So start off by just giving us a background into the idea of Jolly Esquire and how that brand came to life.
Well, Jolly is my last name, and if you know me, you know that I'm usually laughing or smiling. And Esquire, I thought it was just a good, they're so opposite. When you think of lawyers, you do not think of happy people, you do not think of smiles, you do not think of anything pleasant. Most people's experiences with lawyers are not. So I wanted something that embodied me and to also let people know, yes, I know legal can be boring, but it's important. It can be helpful. It can be fun, kind of, sort of, with fun people.
Yeah, I love the blend of positivity into the brand, and trying to get away from that rigidity that sometimes can be associated with legal marketing. I'm curious, has intentionally branding yourself in that positive manner translated at all to the average client that you take in, where you find maybe there's a different client profile that resonates with that brand association?
I have. I've noticed that my clients tend to be, I don't want to say more fly by the, they are more of the dreamers. So I noticed that I've interacted or I help a lot of people who understand this is my dream, this is the thing that I want to do, and you seem like a good person to help me do it. I don't usually get most of the, I don't want to call them rigid because they're not really rigid, but just more structured in thought process and approach. Is that I definitely get more creative dreamers every once in a while. I'll get someone who's more on the rigid side, but it's helping them to understand that law can help them and it can be fun and it can be a good thing, really. So
Understood. Well, you launched your firm during an interesting time, during the recession. I should say during the pandemic, correct?
no, the recession, the 2008 recession.
Okay, 2008. That's right. That's right. Yeah, it's been quite some time. So you transitioned, from being an employee to an entrepreneur. I'm curious, what are some of the major challenges that you've experienced in building your firm since 2008?
Just the idea that I am not a consumer, I am a company. So that in itself was a huge adjustment because things would happen. And as a consumer, my mindset is one thing, but as a company, as an owner of a business, as an entrepreneur, how I look at a problem or anything, it's completely different than what I would look at as a consumer. Because as a company, my goal is to make money. And as a consumer, my goal is to have a pleasant experience, but also keep my money. So they're kind of opposed, and just how I look at them, it really changed a lot of my views on everything. Like how I look at marketing, it's amazing what you can learn or how you can grow in terms of opportunities and mindset when you look at things in that way. So.
Interesting. Well, I know you've mentioned that your firm has relied heavily on referral marketing and word of mouth referrals over the years. I'm curious, how has that kind of shaped the firm compared to firms that rely more heavily on paid marketing, if at all, differently?
I think we are more relationship based. Not I think, I know we are more relationship based and we lean heavily into client service. So there are some things that I think other other firms likely wouldn't do because they don't think it's prudent, or they wouldn't continue to contact someone or keep in touch with someone because they're like, oh, we're not going to make any money from them. But it's one of the things that, because I have done that, it has helped me significantly, because I've had people that I've interacted with and it's like, okay, I'm going to handle this for you pro bono here. Usually don't do that. And then years later, they come back because of that relationship, or they go and they become a champion of my business and literally refer everyone that they know to us, whether they know that we can actually help them or not. They don't care. They're like, oh, you need a lawyer? Call her. She can help. So.
Yeah. Well, I know you're in a phase of your business where you're looking to scale more intentionally over the next 6 months to a year. So I'm curious, what does the next phase of marketing look like for you to push that scalability?
I've recently discovered, or I recently completed a marketing AI accelerator. So just how well, one, I already know that I will be using AI in my marketing, just for like bulk creation of certain concepts and ideas, things of that nature. AI avatars. I do not like being on camera, but they really do need to see you or your representative. So I think that will be incredibly helpful for me. And I really want to kind of lean in more to the connection aspect of marketing, like really connect with people. I don't know how I'm going to do that yet if I'm using AI, but I'll figure it out kind of thing. So.
Interesting. Yeah, I think that there's definitely a place in every legal firm's marketing strategy right now for AI to be incorporated or complemented in many cases. Do you think that there's like a specific tactic or marketing strategy that, in addition to that, that you think you haven't done before that will help like propel your success over the coming years?
I think just paid ads. Not to be funny or kind of like just actually paying to put myself in front of clientele or like people who would normally not interact with me. It's
Mm-hmm.
one thing to build your brand using referral marketing because you have that close knit community, but to put yourself in front of other people who would never interact or know anyone from your network or your, like your relationship base, it's completely different. So I think just doing paid ads likely will have like a huge impact. And then also, I'm focusing more on being consistent with social media. Like we had some consistency in the past, but this is why I'm going to use AI to help me do that, to create that consistency so it can really deepen those connections.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that it's also important to note that, when you've established such a personal, relatable brand, your paid advertising a lot of times will become more successful because part of that will be translated and communicated in those advertising efforts. And it won't sound so much like a, Me Too message of, hey, I do this too, I offer this too.
Yeah.
It's more like this is the benefits and the relationship components that come with doing business with me. But I want to ask, do you see a path, moving forward for Jolly Esquire where, you aren't the face of every post or piece of content, but you're still putting out that personal, relatable, and educational content?
Yes. I think in order for the business and the brand to grow into what I actually want it to be, I'm going to have to not be in it as much, which is, I think that is the difficulty that a lot of businesses have navigating that space of you being the business and the personal branding and transitioning to like business where it's company branding and not just solely resting on your shoulders. But
Hmm.
I have to in order to grow the way that I want to. So,
Absolutely. Are there any major challenges that, at the moment are holding you back in terms of your marketing strategy?
there are several. I think although I have a very clear point of view and I have a very like clear sense of personality, but being able to translate that into my messaging for other people, I haven't quite nailed that yet. Having to show up on video, this is where I know AI will help me. But just, and then all of the other components about marketing, like marketing is hard. What people don't realize it's really not, think, oh, I can just do it. No, you can't. No, you can't. It's really, really hard. It's really difficult. So, yeah, it just anything associated with marketing, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. So quite a bit. I get it. Yeah. And this is common for service-based business owners in general. I mean, they're typically really good, or at least pretty good, at what they do and what they specialize in.
Yeah.
And when they're getting into other areas of the business, such as marketing, sometimes finance, legal, things of that nature, they it's where they feel a little bit lost, and either A, they'll bring in-house resources to fill that gap, B, um, outsourced resources to fill that gap, or C, fill it themselves in the interim until they determine what the long-term plan is. This has been great conversation. I love the importance of relationships, and I really love the way that you have built this brand of positivity that really matches your tone as an individual when you're the face of the brand. So I think you've done well there. You have a beautiful website. I know you've put some effort into building some of your digital footprint. I have one final question. I am curious. I know you sell certain business contracts and legal services that kind of compete in a way with large names like LegalZoom.
Yeah.
Can you kind of, for our listeners and viewers, differentiate or distinguish the difference between your services and maybe some big box cookie cutter services such as LegalZoom?
Dedicated attorney. Again, that is the one thing people like, yes, the advice. It's awesome to get advice, but if it is not consistent, if they do not understand what your long-term goals are versus where you are currently, the advice that you get can actually hinder you from a legal aspect. So it's one of the things that I strive to do, to give consistent legal advice to my clients because I know where they want to go. So telling them, oh, like you can go to LegalZoom, but you're going to just get some random person who picks up the phone on that day and they don't know your back history. They don't know they don't know that you want to retire in 2 years. They don't know that you have a kid that's going to go into college. They don't know anything about you. They're just giving you the law, but they're not giving you the law as it applies to you in this day and time and where you want to go in 5, 10, 15, 20 years.
Definitely. That's a good point and a key difference. I love it. Well, this has been a pleasure, Kamilah. Where can our listeners and viewers find more about Jolly Esquire online?
So you can find more about us at jollyesquire.com. And basically on all social media, we are Jolly Esquire because we trademarked it. And then we can, handle it accordingly. But anywhere you see Jolly Esquire, it's going to be us.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being on the show today. We appreciate it, Kamilah.
Thanks for having me.